if you look at a lot of the business owners I've met over the past few years, I look at their business, it feels like a Frankenstein. They kept adding things to it. It's like a new offer, a new team, a new thing, but they never take the time to go back and think, what makes me feel fulfilled? What do I really enjoy doing? Did I keep adding new stuff that actually doesn't add value to me? It might add value to your clients, but is it adding value to yourself as an owner? Yeah. And I look at their business, it feels like a Frankenstein. Like, this is all weird. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to you. So having that raw honesty with yourself, that are like, cool, there are a couple things that I don't enjoy. I might need to let them go. And I will go through that period and things will be better. It's not about the amount of time, it's the quality of time that I put into my business and my clients and what I'm doing. And things change massively because I was able to produce better quality work. The perceived value was higher because I was focused and I was delivering the right things to the right people. I found the right context. And that's how I look. I think we both look at business nowadays. Are we delivering value? Because if we are, the marketplace knows when what you have to offer is valuable. And when clients perceive value, they're happy. When we meet the expectations, they're happy. And at the same time, what do I want? Because even though I think we both love the business we have, the business fits a purpose. Yeah. The business is not the purpose. And I think that's the problem I see in this space.
Welcome to the Ethical Scaling Podcast, your guide to navigating online business with integrity. Join Jay and Ben on this epic journey. Whether you're a seasoned pro or new to the game, get ready for insights, strategies, and a dash of humor. So grab your favorite beverage, cozy up in your favorite spot, and get ready to deep dive into the art and science of ethical scaling. From client success to boosting lifetime value. Plus, learn how to turn clients into your best advocates. Ready to scale ethically? Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Ethical Scaling Podcast. And today what we're going to talk about is building a business that supports the life you want. All right. And, this is something that Jay and I have, talked about. We've lived it. We are living it. And it's often something we help our clients with too, because a lot of times clients will say to us, man, like, it seems like you guys have a lot of freedom and, how have you done that? But it didn't start here. So Jay and I have been entrepreneurs for years. We've had our own businesses, but we each started out working for other people. And, I'll share a little bit about my background. Jay will share some of his, but I really got started in the high ticket space with a company that I'm not going to name them because that's not important, but I went through their program because I had a digital marketing agency. And when I was in that program, I really realized, man, you know what? I'm a coach through and through. I had been a football coach. I had taught music lessons. I had, been a personal trainer, a yoga teacher. So I had this kind of teacher coach part of me that I just knew that's what I needed to do. And so I actually ended up joining that team, and I still was running my agency. And then gradually over time, I let go of the agency. I became a full-time coach there and eventually became a CSD. So I was overseeing client fulfillment. We had a team of like 7 coaches. We had, 250 active clients, at kind of my peak there. And, I was working 50, 60 hours a week. I was just like grinding myself to a pulp. And, my family, we were getting ready to move to where the headquarters were. And I was sitting talking to my wife one night about moving, and she looked at me and she said, you're not here when you're here. And I just was like a punch. And I was like, oh man, like I'm not doing a great job as a father. I'm not doing a good job as a husband. I need to put in my notice. And so, I ended up leaving that company, and, did something else for a few months, but then I just realized, man, I really need to do my own thing. And that's when this company started essentially. And it started as what was called the Empowered CEO, where I was working with high ticket business owners, and just really helping them in different areas. But when I started the business, my wife said, hey, do you think you could stay home on Wednesdays with, our youngest is Gavin. you think you could stay home with him and I'll take the other boys to co-op? And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm the boss of me. So I'll work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And, you know, the business was rolling and I just kept that schedule. There was no work on Wednesdays, did that for a while. And then I was like, man, I wonder if I could, you know, do a half day on Friday. And that worked. And you know, I've kind of done that over the years where I've put this constraint on how much time I can put into work. And, you know, Jay and I have this conversation all the time. It's like, yeah, we can grow, we can double, we can do whatever, but this is the amount of time we're willing to put into the business. And it's worked really beautifully for us. So I'll let you share a little bit about your background too.
Yeah, because I come from a completely different space. I worked in a corporate space. I was already some kind of a consultant before. I was a systems engineer for 10 years. We would work like long days, long hours, week over week. Again, progression, freedom, it's non-existent, being honest. And even though I'm a hard worker, because I did that for 10 years straight, I started a business as a side while doing all those hours. There is a time where you have to stop and think, what do I really want? Because for me, it isn't, and I don't believe it's going to be about money. Money is fine, but if you don't understand what's the meaning or what the money is for, you're going to burn out or you're going to get lost in your own personal journey and your personal development as a human throughout this process of being an entrepreneur. And the way I started looking at it is like, cool, how can I, left that company, went all in on my thing, scaled really fast, learned how to apply all my knowledge of doing 10 years of system engineering towards building a business, saw how well it worked, and I was like, cool, I really want to make an impact. How can I apply all this knowledge with other companies? But more than that was like, there are some non-negotiables for me now. And non-negotiables are like, I'm not going to work long hours. I'm going to have like a very clear structure and schedule. I'm going to make sure it's not about the amount of time, it's the quality of time that I put into my business and my clients and what I'm doing. And things changed massively because I was able to produce better quality work. The perceived value was higher because I was focused and I was delivering the right things to the right people. I found the right context. And that's how I look. I think we both look at business nowadays. Are we delivering value? Because if we are, the marketplace knows when what you have to offer is valuable. And when clients perceive value, they're happy. When we meet the expectations, they're happy. And at the same time, what do I want? Because even though I think we both love the business we have, the business fits a purpose.
Yeah.
The business is not the purpose. And I think that's the problem I see in this space. The business becomes the end goal. Mm-hmm. And it shouldn't be. And people might say, oh, but I want my business to be the end goal. It's not going to be enough. Because you cannot get 100% fulfillment just from being a business owner.
Yeah. Well, and you know, we want to paint an accurate picture for you guys too. Like this journey in this business has not just been, you know,
perfect
rainbows and butterflies.
And unicorns.
Right? Yeah, and unicorns. So, you know, it's like, so I started the business, Empowered CEO, started to see, you know, this trend of all of my clients needing help with fulfillment. You know, I kind of sketched out an initial offer, but then, you know, I was, Jay was working with one of my clients at the time, and I, you know, got on a few calls with him, and then I started to see, man, this guy's brain is like way different than mine. And he's got some superpowers that I need to tap into. And so, you know, we collaborated a bit on the initial offer, which we call the Raving Fan Formula. And, you know, then you started to help me with one client, and then it was two clients, and it just gradually built from there. And we were getting some traction. And then, you know, I had this brilliant idea that we needed to launch a second offer because, you know, this consulting offer was not going to grow big enough. And so we launched a second offer. We started to bring on a team to support that offer. Turns out that wasn't the right thing to do. So, you know, we have these two offers. The business was growing revenue-wise and stuff, but something wasn't right.
Well, 80% was still coming, or 70% was still coming from the main Raving Fan Formula offer. And I think it's important. Let's go a little bit deeper. What were some of the lessons learned from launching that second offer, aligning that with the main concept of today, which is building a business that aligns with what you want?
Yeah. So I think it was just a lack of belief maybe on my part that there weren't enough owners that were going to be interested in improving their fulfillment. And so if we really wanted to grow the business, there had to be some other thing that did it.
I was never, well, so that you guys understand, the way we tapped into our energy and genius is like, hey, Jay, let's try this new offer. You keep overseeing the Raving Fan one because we don't want to kill the golden goose.
Yeah. Yep.
That was smart. And that's what we recommend everyone to do. Like,
Yep.
don't kill the golden goose. Use the MVP approach. Keep what's working, and then find time to explore or test something new.
Yeah.
But me, and again, looking at yourself as a human, because we're friends and business owners, I think what I observe when you launch the offer, because again, our Raving Fan formula focuses on helping people that have an established business.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
We don't work with beginners because a beginner has so many things to focus on and to build before they're ready to work with us, because there is no need to work with us at that point in their business.
Right.
They're starting to figure it out. They need to validate the offer, get enough clients to use it, yada, yada, yada. You get what I'm saying. The second offer you wanted to test was an offer that would help people at not necessarily beginners, but on a beginner stage compared with the Raving Fan formula. And I think it also comes from a place of you wanting to help people as well.
For sure.
You like helping people, you like helping others be successful. And I think that also made you want to pursue this secondary offer.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, that's true. And it's like, you know, when I was looking around the market at that point, the offers that were serving that audience, I just felt like they were doing a big disservice.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, man, I think we can do it better.
And even though I think we did as a company, no one was complaining or unhappy. But again, if we go back to very simple concepts. One thing is zone of genius, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Other thing is something you're really good at. We might have been good at doing that, but it wasn't our genius.
Yeah.
Our genius was very much clear. It's the Raving Fan formula. It's something that we know from the inside that no one knows. And that serves the purpose, basically.
Yeah.
It's the business that can deliver what we want from a business.
Right. And you know, we have zero regrets around doing that because like we kept the core offer, right? Like we knew this offer was smart to stick with. And we knew that part of this offer was just time in the game. Like the market has to kind of catch up and have a desire, which it does now. Like we see that massive desire around client fulfillment. So we had that and we tested and we did it for about 6 months.
Yeah, which was the duration of the offer when you sold it.
Yeah. And then we said, you know what? This isn't the right thing. So we went back to our core. We let go of that team. We brought it back to just me and Jay. And, you know, and then you wrote the book, right? And, you know, after the book came out, we started to gain a lot of momentum and now it's a year later, really. And, you know, we've got a ton of momentum now.
And I think I was sharing this with one of our team members the other day, Adam, that for me, in my opinion, I don't have any regrets, but it was painful.
Yeah.
It was painful because as a business owner and as someone who cares, having to fire someone, for me, more than the uncertainty of having a bad month, for me, it's more painful to have to fire a team.
Yeah.
And people that we connected with in person more than online.
Yeah.
We didn't see them as only employees. So it was very painful. Don't take us wrong. Like it was painful. But there was so much to learn there. How focusing on one thing and focusing on that thing well. And it's like, cool, you can go broader.
Yeah.
But then you need to go deeper.
Yeah.
And that's where we went like, let's go all in. Let's build the systems, document the systems, find how we can find the right team, grow the team, do it well over and over again, build that traction, be patient, stay in the game, play the game to win, which is basically for us playing to win is making sure we know what our goals are and we actually create an impact for the people we're working with. And again, it doesn't matter if you guys do B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter. Everyone wants to create some kind of an impact or legacy, just think about what you want, and is your business actually allowing you to live the life you want to live?
Yeah. And we're going into this phase now where it's like the who, not how phase for us, and we're really looking at who is the right team member to add to this. And we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush. And we're still improving our skills around hiring and getting the right people on the team and all of that. I think that's an ongoing process. But again, through all of these phases of business, we check each other on like, is this business supporting the life we want? And that's always like the core principle. And if it's not, or if something's off, like what needs to shift?
There is a simple question everyone can ask. Do you feel resentment towards your business? If you do, you're not building the business that can serve you to the level it could.
And, I think too, it's like, you don't have to blow everything up.
No.
Most times that's not the answer.
But you might need to deal with loss aversion.
Yeah.
We did it. It was painful. It was uncomfortable, at least, which is you might need to fire a couple people. You might need to slow down acquisition. You might need to change things. You might have the wrong people or the people sitting in the wrong seats. You might need to make changes, and change is hard. Change can be painful. But if you just keep doing the same and expect different results, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like as an owner, it's super important to understand what you really enjoy in the business. And there will be phases where you can't only do what you enjoy.
But you can balance it. You can like try to find a nice balance. And I know that people ask us a lot, like, oh, but your business partners and Jay likes doing one thing and you like doing another thing. Yes, it's true. We cannot say it's not true. It's true. Yeah. But at the same time, most of the businesses that are actually at the level that they can afford to have a team. You don't need to have a business partner, but you can have someone like a client success director or a lead coach or a lead client success manager or a lead account manager. It comes from a place of you trusting the other person to do the things that you maybe not as good as they can be doing, and being able to embrace that uncertainty and that discomfort of having someone doing something that might not be at your level, but because they're more reliable than you are, overall, if you run the numbers, they're going to do better than you are. Because you do it well for one, but they can do it well for 100.
Yeah. Well, and I think, there's also this kind of misconception of everything has to be delegated, right? And, look, it's like right now I'm still doing our sales.
Which is what most people try to delegate first.
Yeah.
Well, delivery and sales.
Yeah. And I have no plans to stop doing sales. But in some businesses, like the owner can't handle all the sales themselves. Like I get that. But at the same time, it's like, I enjoy sales conversations. I enjoy networking, creating like JV partnerships, those kinds of things. Those are the things that I really love to do. So that's what I do, and I
just think about the dynamics. That's offline. That's what you enjoy doing. But when we're in person, I'm more dynamic than you are. And we know that. So it's like, cool. If there is like something we can collaborate during an in-person event, we will. But if I need to stay for longer, Ben knows that I will do it for longer that day. I will create the connections. What I will do, I will set some calls with Ben if there are potential prospects or leads or someone interested in what we have to offer. And again, Ben still does the sales, but because in those specific events, I tend to do better. I tend to basically last a little bit longer. My battery lasts longer. I stay and I try to find those opportunities because those opportunities come from a place of building real relationships. Yeah. Most of these people that like these business owners that work with us, the majority of them, we have built that relationship, and sometimes takes us them like could be a month, 3 months, some clients 6 months, 12 months before they're ready to work with us. Nowadays, I feel like our sales cycle, if you will, is much shorter. But I think because we know what we want and why we have the business we have, we're willing to create those relationships without expecting anything in return.
Yeah. So, I think for you guys, if you're an owner, it's really taking the time to look at, okay, am I enjoying my business right now? If I'm not enjoying my business, what is it? And don't just stop at the first thing that comes up, because there's probably a few layers you need to dig down to really understand what's going on there, because it's not usually just a task, right? It's got to be deeper than that. So doing whatever you can to get to the root. If you have like, a coach, performance coach, therapist, someone that can help you really dig down, that's ideal. I've worked with a mindset performance coach for 4 years on and off. So you got to get to the root. And then from there, it's how can I start to make some changes or test some things to find that love in my business again, or to really feel like, man, I didn't just create a job for myself, or I'm not in jail in my business. It's really like helping me have the experiences in life that I want to have.
So in tapping into that, if you look at a lot of the business owners I've met over the past few years, I look at their business, it feels like a Frankenstein. They kept adding things to it. It's like a new offer, a new team, a new thing, but they never take the time to go back and think, what makes me feel fulfilled? What do I really enjoy doing? Did I keep adding new stuff that actually doesn't add value to me? It might add value to your clients, but is it adding value to yourself as an owner? Yeah. And I look at their business, it feels like a Frankenstein. Like, this is all weird. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to you. So having that raw honesty with yourself, that are like, cool, there are a couple things that I don't enjoy. I might need to let them go. And I will go through that period and things will be better.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, that's all we've got for today. We'll see you next time.